I'm Jack Sager and I live in Olympia. There's lots negative to say about the war in Iraq, and a lot of it's been said really well. I just have one personal story. A friend of mine has a son who's gone over to Iraq for his 15-month tour of duty. Came back for about 3 weeks, and it was very clear that he had post-traumatic stress syndrome. He's very worried about saying anything to his commanders because the word is that if he does, then he'll be discharged and won't get any benefits. And that seems to be the case. He hasn't been able to get any help through whatever means. And so, you know, we talk about the 3,700 Americans that have died over there. We don't talk about the 25,000 that have been permanently injured. We don't talk about the innumerable ones that have been emotionally and mentally disturbed because of this war. Or the 1 million Iraqis, they don't even count. And so what have we accomplished over there? We haven't made ourselves any safer, and we haven't installed a viable democracy in Iraq. All we've done, is what the designers of the conflict intended, and that's provided profits for the corporations, and we've done that very well.
My name is Joseph Robinson. I'm a citizen of the United States. They say that we're in Iraq to fight the war on terrorism, but the simple fact is that it creates more terrorists than it destroys. And I don't believe that we're over there for terrorism anyway, because Al-Qaeda wasn't in Iraq until they followed us there. And it's really, like people have said, it's really about oil, and it's about the rich oil companies maintaining the status quo of dependence on oil. There's already the technology out there to live without using so much oil, but because that would mean an investment in other technologies, the companies don't do that. So like all great struggles, it's a struggle between the rich and the poor, and the poor soldiers are having to fight for that to continue the status quo. So it just creates more terrorists than it destroys, and it's just continuing. It's investing in our dependence on outdated technology, and we need to move on from oil dependence and the foreign policy of supporting the Middle East and investing in the Middle East, and we need to in support of Israel and just forget about that part of the country, the world.
Yeah, I'm Pete Bowman. I've lived in Olympia for 20 years, and it's clear that the majority of people in the United States support a withdrawal from Iraq. An overwhelming majority of people in Iraq have made it very clear in every poll statement that they support the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq also. Unfortunately, we do not have the strong movements that are pushing this forward, and our politicians, our congressmen, and our senators are very afraid, whatever they believe, to support withdrawal from Iraq of U.S. forces. So it's up to us, for example, to come every week to Brian Baird's office and say we will not accept his support for this immoral and illegal war. That we will not allow this. Right now, I've been doing some travel this summer, and Brian Baird is really being held up as a person who was against the war, who now supports it. A person that is speaking out of principle. I have no idea what he actually believes, but to me, he's supporting these policies that are contributing to the catastrophes that are going on in Iraq. It's also not quite honest when he says he was really against the war, now he's for it. In the vote last winter that was set a date for withdrawal, he voted against that. He did not vote for setting a date for withdrawal. A lot of Washington politicians did. I think it's really important that all of us, that we oppose the Brian Bairds, the Maria Cantwells, the Patty Murrays, the Adam Smith, until they support a withdrawal from Iraq, all U.S. forces, and also oppose a U.S. attack on Iran. I think the only way that's going to happen, and we put pressure, we need to sit in at these people all over and say, not in our name are they continue to prosecute this war that's now cost over $1 billion directly, much of it indirectly, that's destroying the people, the culture, the very fabric of society in Iraq. This claim of a bloodbath that will happen when the U.S. leaves, That was the same claim used to justify the war in Vietnam. There was no blood. There was a bloodbath while the U.S. was there. The bloodbath afterwards did not happen. So at the very best, he's being very, very naive. There's no solution that the United States can make in Iraq that will lead to a more peaceful society, a more just society there.
My name is Kim Chaplin. I'm from Olympia, Washington. And I just want to express that the United States cannot afford to continue this war in Iraq for the benefit of rich corporations. The United States is spending soldiers' lives, feeding the lives of Iraqis to the military industrial complex, and we can no longer afford it. We need to invest in the people of our own country, and then we need to clean up the situation that we have created, and we need to start it right now.
I'm going to wrap this portion up for right now, and there's some people inside reading names of U.S. soldiers who have died. Last week they read the A, B's, and C's, and this week they're probably going to get through the D, E, and F's. Maybe. And we'll be back next week to continue the reading of dead U.S. soldiers from this occupation and invasion and the illegal war.